Trooper Hannah Smathers knows the roads of Unicoi County like the back of her hand.
I'm Trooper Smathers, Tennessee Highway Patrol. Do you know why I stopped you?
But when rain from Hurricane Helene came harder than anyone had seen before and the river spilled over, even she couldn't escape.
So I was actually in the office. We got a call to assist Unicoi with checking the roadway, which is fairly common if there's storms or inclement weather or anything like that. They wanted me to go and check Spivey Mountain Road.
At first, everything looked manageable. The creek was high, but the road was still passable.
Spivey Creek that runs beside Spivey Mountain Road. It was definitely high. The level was very high, but it was not in the roadway for the most part when I went up. But I was able to drive through them. There weren't any kind of anything that I was worried about driving through.
But then, everything changed.
It was getting worse very quickly. Nolichucky is called the River of Death because of the way that it rises so much, so rapidly. It was by Native Americans named the River of Death.
As she drove down the mountain, she saw an SUV stopped in the road.
She was scared to drive through, so I offered to lead her out because I was confident that both of our vehicles could make it.
By then, the water was rising at a frightening pace. That's when she realized she wasn't getting out.
I came around a curve through a small section of flowing river in the road, and then I got halfway through the curve and saw ahead of me that there was a mailbox that was nearly submerged. I was not going to drive through 4.5 feet of water because obviously that would not have worked out at all. So I stopped where I was. I temporarily had a dry spot and was just hoping and praying that the water level wouldn't rise and take away my dry spot because I wasn't comfortable turning around and going back, knowing how easy it would be for the vehicle to be disabled.
Your last was 10-1.
Trooper Smathers called dispatch, letting them know she was stuck but safe.
So my sergeant, Alex Perry, was notified by dispatch that I was stuck. He and another trooper came down to get as close as they could to me, which happened to be on the interstate, about 500 feet away from me.
As she waited, the water continued to rise. Eventually, the Swiftwater rescue team was sent in.
The waters kept rising, and eventually my sergeant decided that the Swiftwater rescue team that was present with him near the interstate was going to come and get me and another vehicle that had become stranded.
For Smathers, getting out of her patrol car meant putting her life in the hands of the team.
Crawled out across all of my gear I had just taken off and out the passenger side. The Swiftwater rescue was able to throw me a life jacket to put on, and then they threw me a rope. If you let go of that rope, you're going to go on with the water.
She stepped out of her car and immediately was swept under by the current.
I took a step away from my car, and of course immediately my feet were swept out from under me and went underwater, and I was holding on to that rope.
Most people would have gone home after that. Hannah Smathers didn't.
There was another vehicle that was stranded, and he had been driving against the current. So he was in the roadway in about 4 feet of water. It was a lifted pickup truck. But I had been able to see the water effectively disable his vehicle. He broke his ankle jumping from his truck. We had to carry him out.
Still soaking wet and covered in mud, she got right back to work.
That's what I was here for. I was here to help people and just do the best that I could with the cards that I was dealt. And the cards that I was dealt that day were not nearly as bad as some people's. And if I could alleviate some fears by talking to people, answering questions up at the Welcome Center, or stranded motorists at exit 43 that weren't allowed to go any further, or anything like that, if I can help in any small way, that is exactly what I was supposed to be doing. This is probably, I would say, part of what was piled up against the back of my car.
Smathers stayed on duty for 18 hours that day. She didn't get home, eat, or change her uniform until about midnight.
I know sometimes it's a cliche that we want to help people, but that truly is our purpose, our primary purpose. And not everybody agrees with our methods all the time. As far as helping people, it's hard to see the clear picture with some of the methods we have to employ, like traffic enforcement. But helping people and ensuring their safety and trying to ensure the safety of the general public is our primary goal and our primary duty. And that's just what I tried to emulate that day.
From being stranded in the flood to leading rescues, Trooper Hannah Smathers showed the heart of the Tennessee Highway Patrol. In Unicoi County, I'm Special Agent Jason Pack for the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.